Hey everybody, how you doing today? It's Steve Furman from the Four Pillar Coach here with my good friend Ari Estrada of Prolific AI. As you all know, I've been dabbling a lot. I don't dabble. I'm 100% Chief AI Officer. I am into AI. I think in AI. I ask questions like, how can AI help me? What can AI do for me? Actually, the questions I'm going to ask you today, or I'm going to ask Ari today to understand his business, I used AI to get the answers for those. Now, I had to modify them, keep a human in the loop, but there's a good reason why you should always think about using AI to help you augment your workflow, but just keep a human in the loop. So, hey Ari, how are you, man?
Good. Thanks for having me, Steve.
Well, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. So, why don't you tell me a little bit about your company first and just give me a little overview?
So, Prolific AI, what we do is we basically build AI employees that answer your phones, chat on your website, across channels, and really link processes internally for a specific outcome. So, it's not going to be the same for every company. I would say companies in different industries will probably have similar solutions. But one thing that sets us apart is that we customize and personalize for you. It's not like just templatized, fill in the blanks. We get to know your business. We understand that your brand, your tone, and we make sure that whatever AI employee is in your business is kind of like a good culture fit, for the organization.
And this employee never sleeps 24 by 7, right?
This employee never sleeps, never complains, never has a bad day, um, and just does what it's supposed to and stays away from what it's not supposed to.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, what is the most exciting problem you're working on right now in AI, and why does it matter?
So one area, like at first when you think about Prolific AI, one of our products called Prolific Voice, what that does really, really well is it answers calls, schedules calls automatically, integrates with your calendar, so your employees can focus on servicing the customer. One of the things that we've learned as we've been, moving forward in this business is there's so many use cases that it, I mean, it kind of blows your mind. For example, there's a company we have that's using AI internally for HR in Spanish and in English. So if a Spanish speaking employee calls in, they can speak to their AI employee, which they called Faith, which stands for Functional AI That Helps, which is pretty cool. I thought that was cool that they came up with that name.
Yeah, it's a good name.
Yeah, so what Faith does is, let's say an employee missed a punch and they have to call in, hey, I forgot to clock in. Rather than their one or two HR people having to answer the call or going back to check a voicemail, they can focus on all their other HR issues and allow our AI employee, which they've named Faith, to handle all those inquiries from internal type of communications. So if you think about it, like we're making a cost center less costly.
So is
And
it connected to the HR system where it can put a note in that person's record, like
no, what we're
API
doing,
or Make or one of those?
you can do that. What we're doing here specifically is they're getting an email every time that a conversation happens with a summary and the full transcript.
Oh,
Um, yeah, so they're thinking about whether they want to put that onto a Google Sheet. But internally, that email can easily be, they can put internal notes, just copy paste, and they're set.
well, you just answered my next question of how can tell me some real world examples of how prolific AI has transformed operations. So how about any other examples of how people are using it? Like, I'll give you an example just for my own edification. I called my dermatologist because I got to get checked for cancer on my skin, and I don't always put sunblock on. I'm just not that bright. But anyway, so I go and I get checked on a regular basis, and I couldn't make my appointment. And I called, and it answered with an AI bot, a worker bot. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's the first time I've called into a place and actually spoke to a robot. So being in I was thinking to myself, oh, let's see how they've done it. How are they leveraging this technology? And so it was a good learning experience for me. And I said, I can't make my 3 o'clock appointment tomorrow. Can we reschedule for Thursday at 9? And it said, sure, Mr. Furman, 1 second, let me check availability. And it came back and said, Dr. Goldberg, who's my doctor, is available on Friday at 1. Would that work for you? I'm like, yeah, that's great. And under like 2 minutes, not even a minute and a half, I was rescheduled, done. It sent me an email automatically and a new calendar event. And I was like, I love it. This is AI in process. This is what I'm talking about. So what other
This,
stuff do you guys do?
what other, yeah, so one interesting use case is incident reporting. Another one is employee tip line. For example, an employee doesn't feel comfortable speaking with their manager about an issue, but you need to document these things internally. So what that AI employee could do is take the transcript, take a summary, send it over to the appropriate person so that it's documented.
Anonymously.
It can be anonymous too. Yes. However you want it to be, anonymous or not
Well,
anonymous.
I would imagine if someone is ratting, sorry, if someone is, calling somebody out on something they did wrong, and I'm big on ethics, so don't get me wrong, I joke about the ratting thing, but ethically, if you have a good set of core values in your business, and your employees understand what the core values are, they will call out other employees for not living those core values. And that's what you really want in a company. But it's nice that you can actually toggle that on and off in your AI products. So if they want to be anonymous, maybe they'll feel more apt to want to say what really happened. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you think in a world where people have been canceled and for all kinds of things, for saying things, it's a safe way for an employee to actually report something and not have any retaliation.
Right, right. So tell me, what's the most surprising or unique way a business has used your voice AI?
The HR Spanish. That was what was interesting. Thankfully, I'm fluent in both English and Spanish, so testing it was not something we had to pull somebody in from the outside. I was able to make sure that that thing functioned well, but I thought that was a really, really interesting use case, and it's something that was taking up a lot of that HR manager's time. So what we were able to ultimately do is just give her back time to focus on things that were actually way more valuable to the organization than, spending time like 2 minutes per person on the phone to figure out, oh, you didn't punch in what location were you in, what job site were you at. So it basically takes all this information together really quickly and something that initially when you think about an HR voice AI employee, that might not be where your head goes, but it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, no, no. I couldn't agree more. And I happen to know that it'll speak basically any language. I won't give away our trade secrets as to how or why, but yeah, there's no reason why you can't. There may be some dialects that are a little tough, like, specific ones like in Arabic or in, other languages that have like different dialects or multiple dialects might be an issue, but for the most part, it works great. Cool. So,
There's not sorry to interrupt. There is one really cool use case that we're very, very excited about. We have a meeting lined up with a call center. This is for a home service company in a southern state. And we're really excited because it's not a huge, huge call center. They field maybe 100 calls per day, mostly booking jobs for duct cleaning. And, that's something that we're incredibly confident that we're going to be able to do at a much lower cost. Right now, they have, there's an issue with certain customers understanding the way that their customer service agents are currently speaking. So we're really solving a lot of problems besides just cutting costs and, preventing headcount growth. We're also like providing a really much better experience for the people calling in. They're calling in, they understand every word that's being said. They're taken through a process every single time with no errors. We're really excited to have that conversation, and we're hoping to service a lot more call centers.
cool. So looking 3 to 5 years ahead, what AI capability do you think will transform how we work or how we live? But most people aren't paying any attention to it yet.
Okay, so
I have my thoughts on this. So,
I'm not sure who's paying attention to what really, because I'm just so busy in paying attention to what I'm paying attention to, but We believe the biggest sleeper trend is going to be autonomous coordination. So, today AI is doing these individual tasks. So imagine tomorrow, I see it managing workflows across departments and systems and even vendors. So imagine no human in the loop. You don't need a human in the loop for every single decision that's made. So an AI that could literally coordinate a service call, say then order supplies, files an invoice, and
Realize you don't have enough inventory and then say, okay, great, we need to order more of these and then do the order automatically.
yep, all automatically. So it's not just conversational, it's more like operational AI. So that's where we see it, and we're gearing up for that. And we can't wait till that's something that we'll be able to fully offer our customers. We can do some of this, I mean, not to that level yet. I'm not sure anyone that can.
You know what I see? And I see more and more of this since I'm going to plug my book. Since I wrote my book, Just Get Up and Drive, back last year, I noticed I dictated more to my computer to get my book written than I did typing. And I think what's coming down the pike that people don't realize is 100% voice activated everything. No more keyboards, no more mice. We don't need to. We can just talk to it. AI is smart enough to understand what you're trying to accomplish. And,
Hmm.
ChatGPT already has a $200 account that will go through and do all the mouse clicking for you. You could basically set up repetitive tasks. But I think that's going to happen more verbally. So, final
Wow.
thoughts. What? Do you have something else on
No,
that?
that's cool. No, that would be cool. That sounds awesome.
All right, so let me ask this question for a business owner listening right now who's curious but hesitant, because I'll just call it out. A lot of people out there are just sitting on the fence waiting for life to show up. I don't know what they're doing. But what would you say to them? How can people learn more and get started with prolific AI or just AI in general? What would you say to these people that are out there right now, business owners?
All right. So first, it's like starting back square one. AI is not magic, but it is very, very powerful. It's not going to read your mind. It's not going to fix your broken business model, but it can handle repetitive tasks faster than any single person can and scale customer service like right away, like a light switch. So it's not going to be right now about replacing people. It's about freeing up your team to do more meaningful work. So think about this: AI becomes the most reliable employee that you're going to have. It's going to show up all the time. It's never going to complain, not take breaks, and it makes you look really good to your customers. So know that to learn more, you know, we could be reached at by either calling Ava, our voice AI, our employee at 888-610-7413, or go to prolificaiemployees.com. We're happy to speak with you. No pressure. We understand this is new, but what we aim to do is connect what our capabilities are to the problems or some of the opportunities that you're missing out on, and really connect the dots, close those gaps, and get you more productive at a lower cost.
Great. Thank you, Ari. And if you're looking to get some strategic help in growing and scaling your company or growing and scaling your AI presence or just implementing it, give us a call here at Four Pillar Coach. We'd be happy to help you out as well. It's www, the number four, pillarcoach.com. Actually, a little sneak preview, June 2nd, brand new website coming out. So there's a little mic drop there. Thank you, Ari, so much for being on the show. I appreciate you, my friend. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Steve. You too, and to everybody else out there.